Welcome to a very special episode of Ask Cindy Connector Live. And we're going live today on YouTube and Facebook, also growing your business through referrals. We'll be right back. Well, hello. This is Cindy Lee, your host. So a little bit about Ask Cindy Connector Live. I started this podcast many years ago, but back in 2010 is when I met this gentleman here, Casey Eberhart. But during that same year, one of my friends told me, you need to write a book. And I just said, that's not possible. I'm a typo queen. Randy Taylor, I'm glad you said that. And also a big shout out to Ivan Meisner. He's a big inspiration of mine, and also author Bob Berg. That's the reason that I'm writing a book. And this gentleman here is the reason that I am successful. My agency went from having one travel agent to mentoring over 80, and I started my travel agency in 2018. He's an amazing mentor. You definitely need to connect with him. But today we're talking about the amazing networking riches. Let's go into it.
Awesome. Cindy, how are you? It's so good to see you.
I'm doing great. Absolutely fabulous. Thank you for asking.
So are we just jumping right in?
We're going to jump right in. I'm actually going to I'm going to put this in a couple groups, and I'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes. Are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm totally good. I'll chat with the group. No problem. So welcome, everybody. My name is Casey Eberhart. I am super stoked to be here and hanging out with you guys, both live and on recorded. So, hey, drop Cindy some love as a comment, as a like, a love. Let her know that you love her podcast. She's absolutely one of the best in the business. And what I love about what Cindy has done is in growing her business, she has really grown her sphere of influence. And so, when we talk about networking and referrals and generating referrals, it really comes down to a couple of things, right? You are a business owner. I'm assuming anyways that you are a business owner, or you want to be a business owner, or aspiring business owner. At the end of the day, you need a couple of things to make any of these businesses successful. Number one, you need a great product or service. And number two, you need an audience to share that product or service with. And there are about 8 million different ways and mechanisms that you can use in order to do that. And so back in the day, in 2008, I started work in a home-based business. And what I remember was that when I started that, somebody told me that if I wanted to be successful, I needed to do 3 things. And for whatever reason, it clicked with me. And I built every business I've bought and sold, consulted for, as advised, I've used this same formula. Okay, so let me just say for some context, I'm 53, and since I was 20 years old and moved to Los Angeles, I have not had a W-2 job. I don't say that because there's anything wrong with a W-2 job. It just was not my pathway forward in helping people create impact. So since then, I have only bought, sold, built, advised, and consulted companies just like yours. And so here was the 3-step formula. And I'm very big on doing the right thing in the right order. Okay. And so number one, you got to build a tribe. You got to build a community. You got to build a group of people that know, like, and trust you and or your product, good, or service. Now, I don't make the case that you have to have a relationship with every customer. Every customer has to have a relationship with you. I bought this pen. I don't have a relationship with the person that bought me this pen. But if your business relies upon referrals as one way of generating leads and opportunities, then you do have to kind of follow this to some extent. Number one, build a tribe. Number two, engage the tribe, meaning we got to talk to them. We got to interact with them. We got to find out what their wants, needs, and desires are. We have to find out what's their pain point. What's the problem? Like, why are they even here? How can we help solve the problem that they have? And then ultimately, step 3 is market to the tribe, which essentially is a kind of a fancy term for saying, hey, you have this person in front of you in an ad or in a Facebook Live or in a podcast like this. You have this person that has indicated that they want to hang out with you for some reason. They probably got a problem. You've asked them what the problem is, And now you're going to offer them a solution to help them solve their problem, always doing it with full integrity, out of honesty, right? If I don't need a pen, you trying to put a pen in front of me is useless. But if I have a piece of paper in front of me and I want to take some notes and I don't have a pen, boom. Now you say, hey, if you don't have a pen in front of you, here's a pen. That is the way the business is transacted. And so today, I think what Cindy is all about and what we're going to talk about is really that connective tissue between people, right? I've said for years that connectivity is today's new currency. And listen, we've got AI coming through the marketplace. We have networking groups that are morphing and changing and how they're doing all that. But at the end of the day, you guys, business is people to people. Somebody has a problem, somebody has a solution. And in our job, it's to connect those two people together, right? Cindy runs an amazing travel agency, right? What does she do? She helps people save time and make more money. And make more money is by saving them money, right? We could argue that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I want to go to Barcelona. I don't even know where to go. I call Cindy Lee because Cindy Lee, I know, is the person that can solve that for me. She can find me the best rates, the best places to go, give me an itinerary, tell me how to go there, tell me what passports I'm going to need, tell me what visas I'm going to need, so on and so forth. So you guys, here's the thing. Your network is the starting point. So when we start talking about build a tribe, engage a tribe, market to the tribe, your tribe is simply your network. So I'll give you an example, and then Cindy, I know you just popped back in, so I've just been riffing here on the basics here, but I just had a consultation. I have a consulting client, and we just had this conversation. I actually posted about it on Facebook today because it's just so impactful if people really kind of like get it. So we started doing his numbers, and he has $400,000 in profit. Okay, so I just try to keep profit, right? And he basically has two ways that we market this business. One way we market the business is through his network and through his sphere.
Mhm.
The other way is we pay for some ads. He's a real estate agent. So we pay for some ads on a leading investor real estate platform. Okay. He spent $50,000 on ads. Okay. And out of that, generated $100,000 in profits. So 50 in, essentially 150 out. Okay. So, so 2 times ROAS, which is a term if you're not familiar with it, ROAS, it stands for a return on ad spend. Okay.
Mhm.
His ROAS was 2 to 1. Okay. The other $300,000 in profit out of his business came specifically from his sphere of influence, meaning primarily in his case, his kids are in a private school, and he goes to church. He's an introvert. He does not. You're not going to see him at meetups. You're not going to see him at BNI. You're not going to see him out at networking events. He pretty much is involved in his school, his kids' school, on the board or PTA or whatever I don't remember what they call it. And he goes to church. Okay. So when we laid out his plan, he was like, listen, I'm happy spending money on those ads because I know I'm getting my ROAS, but I don't want to spend any more ads, any more money. And so what we do is we spend 10 minutes a day. Now, this is really important, you guys. 10 minutes a day of on purpose, completely intentional pouring into the network. Okay. And that pouring into the network can take a variety of different forms, right? He can text people. He can send video messages to people. He can pick up the phone and call them. He can handwrite a note to them. He uses a tool that I know Cindy uses as well called Mailbox Power. So he's sending stuff. He's pouring energy into building and deepening the relationship and the connectivity that he has with his sphere of influence. In exchange for that, they bring him a massive amount of referral business. Okay. So when I talk to people, or we go in and we evaluate businesses to buy and to look at and to advise and consult and all that, and somebody says to me, hey, you know what? A lot of our business comes from referrals. The minute I hear that, the next question I have is, what is the process that we help people give us referrals? Where's the friction point? How do we make it really easy for somebody to bring us a referral? Are we rewarding those referrals? And Cindy, I had a huge like sucker punch to my gut one time.
Wow.
The reason that I'm going to tell you guys this story because it's just so impactful. And if you can kind of picture it, it sort of sums us up. I was speaking at the world's largest wedding professional show out in Las Vegas. 50,000 people were there. It was all about photographers and DJs and wedding planners and officiants and photographers and DJ, all of the people that support the wedding industry, bridal gowns, all that stuff. And I was speaking in a room. I had one of the bigger rooms. There were about 5,000 people in the room at the time. And I said, hey, would you guys stand up if 50% or more of your business comes from referrals? Mm-hmm. Every single person in the room stood up. It was crazy. Like I would have never thought that. I would have thought it would have been like 40% or 50%. Literally everybody in the room stood up. And I said,
it's just like a realtor, 99% is referrals. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I said, sit down if you cannot honestly tell me by data, not what you think, but by, because there's a piece of paper in front of you that says the top 3 referral sources. Like if your whole business is coming off of referrals, sit down if you can't tell me who gave you the highest number of referrals in terms of revenue in your business last month. This is where I was blown away. Literally out of about 2,000 people, there were about 5 that remained standing.
Wow, that's
we
crazy.
Have all these referrals coming in and no one knows who's giving them.
Well, I keep track of all mine. That's super
right. Yeah, but you've been around the block. Like that's why your business goes from 1 agent to 80, right? That's why you're writing books. That's why you're being put on stages because you get it, right? You were intentional and on purpose. You got a system and a process, and you follow it. So these few people that were remaining, I said, okay, if you know them by name, if I call them on your phone right now. Sit down if they will not pick up or they don't know what you do or they would have no idea what you've done for them lately.
No follow-up.
There was not a person standing. I said, here's the problem. We just discovered the problem. We have given all this power and control over to our network. We don't know how to reward them. We don't know who they are. We don't know how to make it frictionless. We don't know how to help them give us referrals. So we're spending all this time and energy building a network of people and people that we know, like, trust, and will remember us.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But we're not taking it to the next step, which is how do I really connect with this person? How do I, in my business, know who's referring me business so that I can thank them, number 1. Number 2, recognize and highlight them, number 2. And number 3, help them do more of what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I am a referral partner for a bunch of businesses, meaning I will talk about them until I am blue in the face.
We have one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're actually a part of my book now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody who gets my book can qualify to get a copy of this. So Rachel, big shout out to you.
But again, this is kind of the other side of this is when you live in a state of gratitude and you really make it your purpose to thank and recognize the people that are sending you business or sending you referrals or whatever, life is just better. Right. And so it's actually really funny. This gratitude movement company came about because I was given a pad like this. And I started filling it out. It's very simple. It's basically just a gratitude list. You fill it out every day, right? Fill it out every single day, right? So I was given one of these, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, there's a huge business in this." So I wanted to create the pad itself, and so we created these pads. I partnered up with a couple of people, just because my life is a little bit crazy and didn't have the time to do it. So there's 3 partners in it, plus myself and my tech team, and they're running around and they're helping people live in a state of gratitude. And when you live in a state of gratitude, it's on purpose and it's with intention. And when you live in a state of gratitude and when your business is based on referrals, it puts you in the mindset that your referral partners are king. Your referral partners are queen. And
Yes.
when we start treating our referral partners like the kings and queens that they are, because most of them are responsible for our business, I mean, the whole world opens up.
Well, before we go into what's happening in the month, I want to talk really quick. So if any travel agents are listening, this is crucial. So back in September, I got an award for Community Giver Entrepreneur Woman. And I met somebody there who wanted to go to Hawaii. So I booked them for Hawaii. Before they went on the trip to Hawaii, I sent them 2 luggage tags. And when they got back, I said, give me your photos because at Christmas time, I'm going to send you a mug. And then I said, okay, your husband's birthday is coming up. Your birthday is coming up. So on both of their birthdays, I sent brownies and a card. And I also called and sang happy birthday. So boom, boom, chakalaka. That is how you do it, guys. You want to be top of mind. We're going to learn about that here at the end of the month on Networking Riches. Super
Well, yeah.
crucial.
So Cindy, so let's think about that. So you met somebody at an event and you booked their travel.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably have an hour of time in it, maybe a couple hours of time into booking a trip. I don't know how long it takes to book a trip, right? You maybe use ChatGPT to spit out a really cool itinerary for them while they're there. And then at the end, you were like, hey, I want to be able to celebrate you. Send me some pictures. I want to be able to send you a thank you gift. Where should I send it? So you used a mechanism, a tool to help save time and make more money. And you sent them some brownies. That's going to be $8. You send them each a birthday card, another $2. You'll probably send them a couple of cards just because I know you throughout the year, another couple of bucks. So you're probably into that deal $20 for the year. Now we're going to send them a mug with some pictures on it. Let's call it $15. Let's just make it easy and say it's $45 for that customer.
Lifetime value of the customer. I don't want to give away what the formula is, but you have to attend this event coming up May 28th and 29th, guys. So let's talk about how Networking Riches started. We have about 10 minutes left, and then we'll close out in the show.
Yeah, Networking Riches was an event that literally started because I just kept having business owners and entrepreneurs and CEOs and people that were in charge of businesses come to me and were like, how are you able to grow a network so quickly and easily? And because I'm the person that says, listen, drop me off anywhere in the country and I'll have a network built within a very short amount of time. And it was just, I was telling that formula over and over and over and over again. And finally, I was just like, hey, you know what? Let's get everybody in a room together that cares about this stuff. And let's just have a conversation. And so the way I set this event up is it's like we're going to a networking event. Okay. And we're going to start off with like, where should you be hanging out? What should you have before you ever enter the room? Are you even going to the right rooms? Do you even know what the lifetime value of a customer is and what your best ideal client is? We're going to work through all of that as it's all of a workshop. And then we're going to talk about like what to do before you even go to an event, what you do at an event from door open to door close, right? Who do you talk to? What do you say? What's a script that you can use? What are the things that you can actually do inside that room to elevate your presence, to make it easy for somebody to refer you and for you to find those people that you want to refer, right? And then what do you do after you leave the event? Like there's a process that when you get in your car, when I get in my car at the end of an event, that I go through before I ever drive away from the event. Takes me about 4 minutes max, right? And so then it's sort of like, and then what do we do in the follow-up process? And then Cindy, one of the most powerful things that happens at Networking Riches is most people have heard all the cliches, the fortunes in the follow-up, all of this stuff, the your fortunes you're leaving on the floor, all of this stuff, it's all accurate. And when you really break it down, it's people don't have a follow-up process. They don't have a system. They don't know what to do. So we are going to walk out of that event together on Thursday afternoon. Every single person is going to have a follow-up purpose, a follow-up plan in place that you create, that you design. Because when people ask me, what's the best CRM system? What's the best email marketing system? What's the best card sending platform? What's the best follow-up tool? What's the best? 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 My answer is always the same. The best one is the one that you will use. So there's no purpose for me telling you what my follow-up plan is or Cindy Lee telling you what hers is, because I'm not going to do Cindy's. I'm not going to wait until December to send pictures. I don't even send coffee mugs that often because I can't figure out how to use it, how to do it. Right. So you're going to come up with your own follow-up plan, and we're going to do it. We're going to go through like 60 different ways to follow up with people. You're going to choose 6. We're going to talk about when to do it, how to implement it, so on and so forth. Many of them cost 0 to nothing to do. You're going to walk out with it. So here's what's really great, Cindy, is I have done Networking Riches, some version of this event, literally for over a decade. And I can go into any BNI room. I can go into any conference. I can go into any networking event anywhere across the country and Australia, just because I spent so much time there. Mm-hmm. And if you tell me that there's somebody that's attended Networking Riches in there, I can pick out of a crowd in 2 seconds. And here's where they are. They're the ones that are doing business. They're the ones that people are hanging around and talking to. They are almost always the most influential people in the room. And they are having the system and the plan work for them rather than them working a plan or a system. So if you want to come learn how being your true, authentic, in integrity, honest self can be, and generate a business of endless referrals and endless referral partners, like come hang out with us at Networking Riches. It'll be fun, right? And you get to meet people like Cindy Lee. And, you know, Cindy, I just have to say, I'm just so thrilled and honored to be a part of your book project that I know is coming out. And you gave me the like huge, awesome responsibility of writing the foreword to this thing. And I am so blown away in watching you from when we first met to today. You know, and some of the stuff you were telling me off camera that you have going on is just so incredible. I love seeing you winning awards and out there living your best life. I see you on the beach. You're hanging out on the beach. You're playing around. You're able to take care of your mom and growing a travel agency and serving a bunch of people and living the life of travel that so many people dream of. Why? It's because she has taken on the responsibility of being in control of building, cultivating, and pouring into her network. And when you do that, it pays huge dividends.
And there goes the waterworks.
Really incredible.
Wow, 2010, the end of 2009, 2010 is when we met. Look at all these years later. And I was actually living in Vacaville, California. And I believe you did a presentation in Sacramento. I think that's when I very first met you. And then now we both live in, Southern California. So.
Yeah. Go SoCal. Woohoo!
Yeah. So, and one of the things that I actually talk in the book is about having your cheerleader. So we have many, many cheerleaders, and Casey, what do I have to say about you? But that you're amazing and that everybody needs to go to this event. So one last question I always ask at the end, and then you can pop off because I'm going to pay a 12-minute video of testimonials. But what is the one thing that you would like to do, let's say in the next couple of weeks, to pay it forward to a random stranger?
So it's really funny. So this is, I'm going to use it. This is not going to be the shortest answer, but it'll be a little bit of a longer answer.
That's fine.
Many years ago, I found myself in the rooms of Al-Anon. And if anybody's not aware, Al-Anon is it's a program for people who have friends and family in their lives that suffer from the effects of alcoholism. And it's just a way of getting together in sort of a group environment to share experiences and grow. And one of the things that we talk about in there is trying to do a favor for somebody or pay something forward to somebody every single day. But here's the kicker. If you get found out, it doesn't count. Okay, so that's the kicker. So this is a daily habit that I do. And one of the things I do, and I still do it to this day, is I carry a bunch of change in my truck. And when I get out, I did it today, though none of you will have benefited from this. So I'm okay saying it because I don't want to get found out. But my dentist is in Beverly Hills. I just happen to know that when I go there, we have a street called Wilshire. On Wilshire, there are parking meters. And so I take a handful of coins, and any parking meter that's expired, I put money in people's parking meters so they don't get a ticket.
Wow.
It can be that small in terms of stuff that you can do to, a lot of times I think people do things for people and they pay it forward because they want to get the accolades. Mm-hmm. But when you can get so true that you want to just be a kind person and you don't need to get caught, you don't need to have everybody know what you did. I don't know. It just makes it a little bit more special, right? So, put 50 cents in somebody's parking meter, go to Starbucks. And if you're doing a drive-through, say, hey, put $5 on the person behind me's car in the drive-through and give the person behind you a free coffee. These are little things once in a while. If I do something small, and there's an ability for me to leave a tip, I'll tip 100%.
Wow.
Right.
That's
There are
cool.
small
Yeah.
things that we can all do to pay it forward. And if we create the Cindy Lee sort of connective tissue and we grow that, and we're always doing those things and we're all pouring out there, it can't help but have, a butterfly effect. It can't help but have like a massive effect overall.
Well, I'm going to talk about a couple things, and we got 5 minutes left on the show. So I might tell you the story. I don't know. But a few years ago, I found out that on my 16th birthday, July 29th, I sent Princess Diana and Charles a wedding card. And about 10 years after that, I started a gratitude gifts business. And then, years later, I'm using Mailbox Power. But it all started from her. Then she started giving back to orphanages. I started giving back to orphanages, just like Anthony Bourdain. He was a chef and then went into, doing all his shows. And because of him, I actually started my other podcast in 2017, Bucket List Coach Web Show. So I want to say, as far as pay it forward, I mean, this is the ultimate pay it forward. What I'm doing is I'm getting tested to give one of my kidneys to a friend of mine, Sean Cordes, here in Huntington Beach, who is just an amazing person in our community. He started a group about 5 years ago called HB Quarantine for when, all the stuff was happening with COVID, and to get people to stimulate more of these mom and pop businesses. So I'm getting chills over that because he has thousands and thousands of members because of that. So my pay it forward to him is to get tested to be a donor. So that's one of the things that you can do. Also, just think of people that you want to connect with. We're all going on Facebook, TikTok, all this stuff. You know what? Get off that device and go experience the community. For instance, National Dolphin Day is April 24th. This year I was out of town for that. So a month before, about 4 or 5 of us, including a friend of mine who wrote an article on me in the LA Times, and we went all the way to Newport Beach. We did a dolphin excursion and we created that experience. We took videos, we took photos, and do a walk and talk. Walk and talks are super important. Is one of the things I talk about in the book is, go to Newport Beach, or you can go to Venice if you live over by Casey, and do a walk and talk, walk around the beach, enjoy, all the beautiful sounds of the waves, and then, go experience other things together. Like you could go to a nice comedy club, and just go out and paint and town red and just step away from your business for a while. So I want to say those are my tips for today.
I love it. I love it.
All right. Shout out, and go ahead and shout out to your event real quick with the information, and then we'll play the reviews, and then you can head out.
Yeah, so you guys, we'd love to have you come to the to our event, Networking Riches. I think Cindy Lee is going to put a link somewhere in here, or you can just go to networkingriches.com. But we'd love to have you come. And the cool thing is, if you can't make it this time, we'll catch you on the next one. And we'd love to have you. It's a great time. We always have 200-300 people there. It's a great time. You'll connect with some cool people. You'll meet some cool people. We're kind of funny. And hey, here's the thing. If we suck, you can just go away. Right. So we'd love to have you. Cindy Lee, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of your book coming out. I'm so proud of you that you have taken kind of a massive step into the gratitude movement, and it shows. I mean, the fact that you're giving up a kidney or willing to give up a kidney for somebody is incredible. I know how much time and energy and effort it takes to take care of a loved one in their final stages of life. I did the same thing for my father end of last year. So you're doing incredible work. Business owners, entrepreneurs, you guys are the lifeblood of the country, man. I just have this opinion that the government isn't going to be the one that creates your business. You're going to be creative. We as business owners together are going to be the ones that solve the problems. The entrepreneurs are the ones that are coming up with the innovative, creative ways to help solve everyday problems for our customers. And that's an incredible, awesome responsibility for you and I. And we'd love to have you come play a part of Networking Riches next week.
And we got half a minute and then I'll play the video. But one thing I want to say, and you could touch on it, do not worry about the naysayers. When I started my travel brand, Bucket List Coach, a lot of people said it's a joke. I don't like the name. And here we are all these years later from 2018 to 225. So what is your experience?
Well, here's the thing.
When one of those
naysayers wants to pay my mortgage, they can have an opinion.
Exactly.
I mean, I do think people should have advisors around them can help guide them, or help guide them to make really great decisions. But if you're just around a bunch of negative people, I'll leave you this: there are buoys and anchors. Get rid of the anchors and hold on to the buoys.
And there you go. And we're gonna play, and I will see. Are you gonna stay for the 12-minute video, or are you gonna pop out?
Unfortunately, I have to jump on for another interview here in a couple of minutes.
Okay, well, there you go. Thank you so much. And make sure that you follow Casey Eberhart on all the socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. And stay tuned for this video. And we will see you coming up at the end of the month.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Cindy Lee.
Thank you. Surf City Aloha Marketing. And today we have a video with 8 testimonies from these amazing entrepreneurs who have had great success by attending Networking Riches. Make sure that you get back to the person who sent you to this video. And I've had great success. I've had several different business partners and clients because of attending this amazing event. So stay tuned to the rest of this video.
Hi, this is Ricky Powell, and I just wanted to say a few words about Casey Eberhart and Networking Riches. So I hadn't seen Casey in years. I've known him well over a decade, probably closer to 2. And it had been a long time since I'd been to one of his events. And I attended Networking Riches, thinking it was going to be your same old average networking event. And I was just so pleasantly surprised because Casey always over delivers. I've always loved him about that. That energy, that excitement that he has really translates into all of his attendees, all of his guests, and everyone comes with such a collective mastermind sort of brain in terms of helping one another and connecting people and all of that sort of thing. I'm in a really new industry for me. I'm in the reverse mortgage space now. And so it's very different, but attending Networking Riches really gave me the opportunity to meet so many people that would help me get to that next level simply by the connections that they had. And in fact, Casey even put me in the hot seat where I got to really spend some time going through everything and what my challenges were. He really helped me with that. And by the way, speaking of that, I love the small world factor. So at my company, I was on the phone with one of my coaches and I happened to mention Casey's name. Big shock. He knew who Casey was and had known him also for years. So I just love all of that. Anyway, Casey, my hat's off to you. You over deliver every time. I saw that the VIP offer and I was very hesitant about that, but I finally bit the bullet and did it. I'm so glad I did. I mean, it just gives you so much more, even above and beyond, again, what you always promise. So thank you so much. I can't wait for the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Cindy. So Networking Riches is one of the most amazing network events that I have ever been to. I've been to it a few times. So this past weekend's event was the absolute best networking riches that I have ever been to. Not only do we learn about networking and what to do, especially now since we're back live in-person networking, but you learn about other people's businesses and how amazing they are and their special gifts as well. Casey has an amazing gift of ideas that just roll off his tongue no matter what your business is to help you. It is one of the best events you will ever attend. And my biggest takeaway from this weekend was we did an exercise about figuring out the value of our customer. And when I did that exercise, a light bulb went off. I couldn't believe how amazing it was to learn what I needed to do each day now to reach my goals. Kind of like reverse engineering what I needed to do every day to reach my long-term goal because of the value of the customer and that whole equation. You need to learn this. So I definitely recommend Networking Riches anytime you can attend. Casey is phenomenal.
My name is Tirza Ekholm. I'm an NFT artist and educator. And I just wanted to pop on here and share with you about Networking Riches. hosted and run by Casey Eberhart and his team. So I attended his latest one just a couple of weeks ago, and I have to say this one's probably the best one I have ever attended. And I've attended a lot of them. It's because it's updated to today's reality. Today's reality includes the fact that we are starting to network more in person. However, there's a number of us for various reasons that are still networking via Zoom. And so he has updated his material to reflect that reality. In fact, I read recently, just like today, in fact, that there are more digital presentations now than ever. And so you need to be prepared for that. Number two is the quality and caliber of the people who come to this networking event is just outstanding. These are people who are already at a higher business level even than I am, and it makes it just a thrill to be a part of. And then number three, Casey he's nonstop. He offers tip after tip after tip. And not only that, then we break off into little groups to discuss how well those tips work, or how you can better incorporate them into your business. And then number four, he talks about not just wealth creation, but wealth acceleration, and also wealth legacy. And these are extremely valuable topics as well. And I do have one more to add, actually, and that is it's something that used to be called the hot seat. It's for the business owner that gets in the hot seat and gets to have their business analyzed in person. It's totally amazing. And then for those of us who are sort of on the sidelines, we're participating as well. And so this whole event is just fantastic in terms of energy, knowledge, and what your business is going to get out of it. And that is why I highly recommend Networking Riches for you.
Hi, this is Paul Russo, and if you haven't been to Networking Riches with Casey Eberhart, you're missing out. It's fabulous information that can be used by any person that is into networking and building their business. It's a must-see. There's so much information that Casey puts out with himself and his team. They're all top-notch business experts in various fields, and they can really take your business to the next level. That's what we're all looking for. That's why we network. That's why we come together. That's why we share, grow, prosper. And getting to know the 70 or 80 people that are on there is a great way to build your business. And so next time you have an opportunity and you see Networking Riches coming up, this is something you need to jump on and take the time to grow and expand.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nana Prede. I am with Collaborate to Success and .com, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about Casey Eberhart's Networking Riches programs. This is a 5 hour a day for 2 days event coming up soon, and we are so excited about going back and learning more from Casey. He is a fabulous, fun presenter that fills your head with great ideas. So whether you are networking online and doing social media or in person, Casey's tips work for you. And it is just fabulous way to grow your clientele, grow your business, and make things happen for you. So don't hesitate to sign up. It's time well spent, even if you go in and purchase the VIP program, so you can watch it on the weekend or watch it in your spare time or watch it a second or third time. Casey Eberhart's Networking Riches is where you need to be soon.
Hi, I'm Mary West from the Mary West Network. Casey from Expand the Business is so amazing, and I have gone to several of his Networking Riches. We learned so much from him and his team. We learned a great follow-up system, the people that you should be sure to talk to at events, how to use your phone to let people know you care about them, and so much more.
Hi, everyone. This is Marla Sybil. I'm here today to talk to you about Networking Riches with Casey Eberhart. It is a 2-day course worth every single minute. We discuss lead generation, a lead magnet, an opt-in page, how you do your lead conversion and your sales generation system, an overview on how the actual system works, which we need to know, and a call to action page that you need to increase your people coming into your site. We also discuss sales generation funnels, which is fantastic. Big thing, you need to figure out where are the people hanging out that you want to be your clients. So we talk in some depth about that, like a BNI, a meetup group, or a trade association. We talk a lot about do's and don'ts for in-person and digital meeting. There's all sorts of etiquette that you should be following, including dress, how you should interact with the people in the meeting, especially the people of influence in all of these events. And we talk about how to clean up your 30 to 60 second business pitch. You should always send a thank you card when you meet people, but the best part of this whole event is the hot seat. So you have this fantastic business and you can volunteer to be in the hot seat, and all the experts on the call will get on with you and talk through your business from top to bottom. Not only does it help you, it helps all the other people on the call. I would ask that all of you, if you have the time to attend Networking Riches Live with Casey Eberhart, you would love it. Thanks and have a great day.
Every single time that I've gone to a Networking Riches event, I have not got anything else except immense value. And that's why I keep going, because every single Networking Riches that I've been to, I've been able to pick up a couple of golden nuggets that has been able to grow my business and to serve the community that I serve. The seniors out here in Las Vegas, the seniors out here in Reno, and the seniors in the Southwest United States. So anyway, I just like to say thank you, Casey. And the next time you guys have an opportunity to go to Networking Riches, put on by Casey Eberhart and his team, please don't hesitate to sign up for the free event, and you'll understand why.
All right, guys, we hope to see you at Networking Riches. Thank you for watching.